Now, hey guys, welcome to the Kunal Call. I'm joined by Shiv from all the way from India. Yeah, and Aditya, a good friend. He's busy right now, so he will be joining later. So, Shiv, I know you're a United fan. Just explain to me how did you feel when
Hey
we
guys,
lost?
welcome to the Kunal Call. I'm joined by Shiv from all the way
How
from
did
India,
you? I think your audio is on, Shiv.
and Aditya, a good friend. He's busy right now, so he will be joining
Shiv, I
later.
think your audio is on.
Shiv, I know you're a United fan. Just explain to me how did you feel when
Hey
we
guys,
lost?
welcome to the Kunal Call. I'm joined by Shiv.
Yeah, it was. Sorry guys, some technical difficulties, but hang around. Unmute yourself, bro. Unmute yourself.
Now it's fine.
Now it's fine, yeah. So we'll do one thing. We'll start with the first question. United
But hang around.
losing 6-1 to Tottenham. How did you feel about that?
I mean, it was
Unmute
it
yourself, bro.
was
Unmute yourself.
shocking. Now it's fine.
Now it's fine, yeah.
Now
So
it's
we'll do
fine.
one thing.
We'll
Start with the
do.
first question. United.
Where's this noise coming from, bro? Shiv, Shiv, 1 second, yeah. Just exit the link and enter the link again. I think some audio problem.
Now it's fine, yeah. So we'll do one thing.
So sorry, guys, some technical difficulties going on, but we're going to talk about United and more in particular regarding the fact that they lost 6-1 to Tottenham. I think it was one of the most shocking things I've ever seen from United team. We never expected it to be 6-1, but that just shows that this team needs a complete revamp of players. This team is going through so much of nonsense above, and it has to be corrected. Otherwise, this club will completely vanish from even winning any title. It was humiliating, one thing, losing 6-1, but to see that the players didn't even fight. Didn't fight. Paul Pogba, who's on an international duty right now with France, says that he wants to go to Madrid and play Real Madrid. Every single time this man in an international break speaks about Madrid. If you really want to stay at United, you would say, you know what, I don't give a damn about Madrid. I will go and play for United, for Man United, and I will give everything I have. But what happens? Again, the same nonsense with this guy. Again, the same bullshit. All the freaking time. This guy is not. I don't think he's going to be at the club next year. I don't want him at the club if you're going to speak about Madrid. You're not a professional. You're not a professional at all. Not just about him. That he was very bad in the game, and it showed that because of the COVID-19 situation, he was COVID-19 positive, so there is a problem with him, health wise. But I want to talk about the defending. Mr. Luke Shaw, Mr. Harry Maguire, Mr. Wan Bissaka, all trash. Bai was not at fault for many of the goals. He could have done something, but majorly the mistakes were done by Harry Maguire. Let's go to the midfield. Pogba, Bruno, Matic, you know, it's so we're joined by Shiv again. So all good now?
All good.
Yeah. So Shiv, talk to me about United. I was just speaking before you came about the game. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think just like our stream, I mean, just like this year, just like this entire time, uh, we've had a few difficulties, and United has just been shocking. I mean, uh, when the season started, it seemed a little bit shaky. The first match we lost, and then even against Brighton, we got really lucky to win. But I think against Spurs, a lot of things went wrong. But I don't know if you saw the game closely. I think even in the first 15 minutes, when the score was actually 2-1, before the red
Yeah.
card incident happened, I felt that tactically we did get it wrong a bit. I thought that the way we were playing, we played completely into Spurs' hands. Like I remember there was this one ball which I think Lamela just lobbed it over the entire defense and Son was through. And Son could have
Yeah.
made that time at around I think minute 20 or 25. Then the score could have been 3-1. So I mean, plenty of things wrong, without a shadow of doubt. I mean, defense was in shambles. It's the worst I think I've ever seen a United defense,
But did
hands
you
down.
expect that next?
No, I mean, considering the way that we finished last season, I would obviously not expect us to play that badly. But Maguire was awful. I thought he was pathetic, being the centre back, being that big leader, and that signing that we hoped for. Bai had a bad game. Everything just went bad. So I don't think it's fair to like single out players because then we'll be talking about the entire team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's been a very alarming start. But nevertheless, I mean, I'm a diehard Man United fan, so I know
So,
that
but
we'll bounce back.
even as a fan, I'm a diehard United fan. But even as a fan, there are players on the pitch who don't want to give everything they have. They don't. You can now Pogba, who's on international duty with France, says that he wants to play for Madrid. I'm like, are you mad? You know what's going on. There's a lot of negativity around the club. You can come out and say, you know what, I want to play at this club. That's it. You don't need to answer everything. It is my dream. Every player's dream to go to Madrid. Man, United needs him. He's one of the best players in the world, and he doesn't want to be a United. I would want him to go next year for 100 million. If he wants to go to Madrid, which we're going to talk about it, like the transfers that they haven't done or have done. I
Sure.
don't want him at the club, man. I don't want him. Look at Bruno Fernandes. He was subbed off in the halftime. There were rumors that he had a bust up
Yeah.
with the players. But I'm happy. I'm happy
Yeah.
he's screaming at Maguire saying that you don't deserve to be the captain. Maguire was shit, completely shit. Whatever people say, he's not worth 80 million. The first goal that he conceded, three mistakes he made, three mistakes in 5 seconds. What
Yeah.
he
That was
pulled,
horrible. Yeah.
he
He
pulled
pulled
Luke
down.
Shaw down. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? And so it's okay now. That aside, that's done. 6-1, we have lost and everything negative. What do you think about the deadline day signing that United made? Late, but they actually did something.
Uh, so see, after you lose 6-1, you want to obviously rectify defensive errors. So as much as I like Cavani, and let's be a little bit practical here, if you give any team in the world Cavani, nobody's going to say no. So
Yeah,
obviously, I will be happy with that. He fits into most teams. I think we still do need a number nine because Martial, Greenwood, Rashford, they all are little makeshift number nines. They are not out and out strikers, and uh, they don't have that poacher finishing element to them. They can't do the dirty jobs that I mean strikers are meant to do sometimes. So obviously Cavani is a top pick. Telles is a very attacking fullback, and I've heard a lot about him. He seemed to have done wonderful things at the clubs where he's played before, and he has of course come from Porto, I believe.
yeah,
But regarding the other two guys, I'm not too sure. I believe one of the signings is expected to come in Jan. So
yeah.
it's mainly Cavani and Telles that I think much of the talk and focus has been on. But I don't think it really solves. I don't think transfers really solves all problems because I think you got to work with you got to work with what you have, and Ollie has to find a way of improving the current players. He has to find a way of getting Maguire, Bai, Rojo, all these central defenders who are now just a financial burden to the club, but he has to find a way to get them playing and really start keeping a few clean sheets because otherwise it's just going to be tough. You can't just go into every game of football hoping that okay, we are going to win 4-3, 3-2, and I just have to score one more goal than the opposition. That's not how it works. You can't win and you can't beat good football teams that way. So transfers are fine, but I think United have bigger and more pressing issues.
That's true. Next question I want to ask you about is Sancho not coming to United. Is it the board's fault? Did they want to pay money? What's going on?
Fair enough. I've spoken to a few United fans about Sancho, and some feel that it's good that United have actually put their foot down and not just paid blindly, not just had another big money signing, and the board did spend wisely last season. If you saw our signings, I thought Wan-Bissaka, Bruno, they were all very calculated signings. It felt like for once there was something right about the recruitment. But having said that, the counterpoint is that when you have finished third,
Yeah.
when you have Liverpool and City vaguely in your grasp, like, I mean, let's face it, we were never going to win the season, but at least we were the next best team after them. So then why not capitalize on that? Why not bring in Sancho then? Why not go for that X factor? So Sancho not happening, and then the question that also comes to mind is Sancho not happening happened for 2 months. It was a good. There was so much talk since so long, and then you just suddenly start chasing Dembele last minute. You've been linked, so it just seemed. It seems like a very chaotic structure right now. I don't think the club is being run well. There's
Yeah.
you have to ask questions to the board, Ed Woodward, etc. There's no doubt about it. Like, I mean, if I was to look at a Liverpool, their recruitments are so strategic. They have been nailing it. I mean, they go and buy the guy who wins the Champions League uh, final man of the match. I mean,
Yeah.
what more do you want? He adds a different dynamic to their team altogether. He's a different kind of a playmaker midfielder. He's not a Wijnaldum. He's not a Keita. And then they go and get Jota, who is a perfect striker coming off to replace somebody like a Salah or Mane when their legs are giving up. So, I mean, there is a lot to look. I mean, there is a lot to. Unfortunately, I have to say it, but there is a lot to learn from their recruitment. As
There's
much
nothing
as I
wrong in there's nothing wrong in learning from your rivals.
true,
Regarding Sancho, I have to say that it is completely the board's fault that they didn't want to take advantage of the situation now, because next year Barca might go for him. But see, there are two things. Yeah, Sancho 108 million was the signing. Yeah, that you have to pay Dortmund 100%. Then you have to pay the agent fees. There you have to pay the salary to Sancho. That would have cost around 200 million in the 6 7 years of Sancho, because Sancho is 20 years old. If you're gonna come, you're gonna sign a 5 year deal. That's a minimum, because he's so young. But him not coming, like, so if he had come, that would be a 200 million spend for United easily to guarantee him at the club. Next year, they must still go for him because the fans are not coming back to the stadiums. That's what I'm seeing. That next year clubs won't have money to spend again. Now this season, many on other than United, everyone in the English Premier League has invested. Yeah,
yeah,
has invested properly. United haven't. Last minute they are going to sign four players. It's not going to help them. Cavani. I love Cavani. He's going to be brilliant. That's for sure. But last minute you could have got him in June. Sorry, no, yeah, exactly in July or something. Like when the season ended, when you lost to Europa League in August or in July, you could have got him in August. You could have given him time with Ole, and you could have done something with him, because Cavani is going to score goals. I'm guaranteeing you he's going to score goals
of
for
course.
United.
There's no.
Tellez,
I mean, nobody doubts Cavani, right? I mean, we know that he is going to score
yeah.
goals.
But Tellez, I'll tell you one thing. He's better than Luke Shaw. I don't care about Luke Shaw. He was shit in defending the last match. He can't attack. He can't score goals. Tellez can. And that's the
Right.
main thing. You need attacking options also. Like Bissaka, Maguire, I don't trust Maguire. Maguire has to be dropped for the next match. I think get Ponsdeby, man. Because there's some solidifying guy. Because Maguire, what is he doing? He's the captain, for God's sake. What's he doing? Nothing he's doing. He didn't do anything. So that's one thing. I want to talk to you about this nonsense that's happening. Already, many people are saying Ole out and all that stuff. They want Pochettino in. What's your take on that, man?
See, I feel you have to give one manager some amount of time. Last year, Oli could not have done anything better by finishing third. I mean,
Yeah.
the start to the season was again a little bit haywire, but then the way we picked up and the way we finished, there's no question about it. United have had this problem of leaving managers halfway. Even if you remember when, supposing Van Gaal won a cup, won a trophy, he wanted. Okay, he was never a great Man United manager, but just when he started to get things right, you take him out, you bring in Jose. Jose finishes second. He's asking for a centre back. He really wanted a centre back that season. And at that
Yeah.
time, people people were saying that no, why do you need one? You finished second. But that just goes to show that maybe he was right when he said that yeah, finishing second with this team is actually the biggest achievement in my entire managing career. People thought that
It
oh, he's just
it was,
again
bro.
making excuses.
It was like you go ahead, but
Exactly.
it was.
So my point is that you you have to back one manager, and I feel you have to give him what he wants.
Yeah.
And right now, it's definitely about backing him. We have to back Ollie, but also Ollie needs to show that this team can bounce back, and he needs to get the best out of these players. Like I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I've not seen any. He's not really in front of the cameras. We've not seen a United documentary where we get to see that fierce side of him. We don't know whether he's going whether he's going like Jose, abusing players, having those really intense team talks. So right now, whenever I see him, he just seems like a really nice guy. He's smiling. He seems a little bit too nice to be a manager. I feel like that's just because his demeanor gives off that kind of personality, which is why people always doubt him. I feel, if he was more arrogant, if he had a little bit more, he was a bit more stern, and he gave off a different sort of impression. So, but yeah, I mean, having said that, there have been times where he does seem a little tactically sought out. Like there are days when he nails it, but I think the major improvement what I felt with us last season was when we started beating teams like City and we started playing well. It was just we played like how Spurs played against us. We were just looking to counter. But then when he showed a different side to our game, of course it helped after we got Bruno. But then when we started to break down teams' defenses and when teams were trying to sit back against us and when we were thrashing them 3-0, 4-0, whatever, then it felt like, yeah, this guy has got his tactics right. He's got the team playing in a certain way. But right now, after 6-1, you obviously question all that. Like it's just bound to happen.
You're talking about Bruno Fernandes coming in January. Imagine if we had signed him in summer last year. We would have been so close to City, and we would have come second. Who knows?
Fair
City are
enough.
not that strong anymore. They're not. But
True.
now something shocking happened the same day. Liverpool losing 7-2 to Aston Villa.
Yeah, it's
Now,
been it's been a crazy start to the season, and I remember the last time we were on, we were actually talking about fantasy football, and we were talking about tactics and of course FPL duo and stuff like that. So I mean, it's just been a bizarre start to the season. There are goals happening left, right, and center. I don't know what your thoughts are on the penalties and the whole VAR controversies and handballs, and especially the whole Dyer incident, Mourinho losing it. But
I will say one thing about Martial. It was not a red card for one person. Both should have been sent off.
100%, 100%. That was stupid. That was really stupid. I mean, I would honestly say you could have just easily given both of them yellow cards and the game could have moved on. Again,
But
that's no reason. We are not trying to justify United losing 6-1,
should
obviously.
be.
But it should have been two reds, 100%.
Yeah, it should have been two reds, but obviously the referee decided Martial should get a red card. I want to talk to you about Liverpool.
Correct.
Yes, they have signed players. Yes, they have done very well, but they lost to Aston Villa 7-2, majorly because of the goalkeeper making a lot of mistakes. In the defense, also
Yeah.
making mistakes. The goalkeeper also he made him a lot of mistakes. Do you think they should sign a goalkeeper before the domestic transfer window closes on 16th of October? With Allison injured
Right.
for 8 weeks now. He's injured now for 8 weeks. So 2 months he's not there.
I think so. I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, Adrian was so bad, and I don't think it's not the first time I've seen him be this bad. Because I remember
Right.
the last time he came also, when he actually replaced him, he kept well towards the latter half of his stint, but he starts off so nervous. He's a wreck when the game starts. You know that there's always a mistake around the corner. So yeah, Liverpool really need another keeper, and I think this is where teams need to be a bit smart. Like if you look at teams who are able to assess problems before they become so evident, you have to
Hmm.
stay ahead of the game. I feel you can't just wait for things to happen and then you're last minute hurrying like United, trying to buy players last minute. So yeah, for sure, Liverpool do need another goalkeeper. They need a decent second keeper because at this rate, with the way he keeps, I don't think they can win any domestic competitions. I don't see them winning any Carabao Cups or anything like that, for that matter. Any other competitions wherever they are, it's going to be tough.
I don't think they'll win the even yeah, you just nailed it actually, the Carabao Cup. But the problem with Adrian is he had a horror show against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League, and they still didn't sell him, and they got knocked out against Champions League in the Champions League against Atletico. With Liverpool now, three players have tested positive for coronavirus: Mane, Thiago, Shaqiri. Yeah, that's going to have a big effect on the season, bro. Because you have seen Paul Pogba coming back from COVID as a forward, not playing well. I think it will take some time for them to even
Yeah,
come back because Mane is the best player in Liverpool. He's better than Salah, better than Firmino, better than Van Dijk also. That guy scores goals, man.
I feel
And
like also it's the work that he does off the ball. I feel like when
correct.
he's there, they have a different aggression when they press. Firmino
Mhm.
does, Salah does, but they're a great team. But I feel the kind of aggression, that rawness that actually Mane brings to their team, neither Salah nor Firmino bring that because they are more refined in their games. Like I feel it's always Mane who sort of leads the charge, at least when it comes to intent and that sort of attacking threat on goal. So definitely Mane is a big loss for them. And it's going to be interesting to see also how they're able to bounce back because if I look at Liverpool, they're also a lot like United last year towards the end of the season. They had good players coming off the bench, but you would just ideally want their main team to start. You know, whenever the players
Yeah.
coming off the bench, they didn't have that kind of impact. Like now, they may have to play people like Curtis Jones and stuff like that. You know, so I don't know about how they're gonna. It's gonna be a testing time for them. Definitely, they do have squad depth, but yeah, I think it's going to be tricky. And even for a team like City, for that matter, City also look really. I don't know if you saw the game against Leeds, but just the way that they played, I really thought that Leeds deserved to win that game, and a lot of credit to Leeds and Bielsa. I think I've become a huge fan of the guy. I just saw the documentary as well recently, so yeah, big fan.
Yeah, that's true actually. But with the COVID situation going on, the cases are rising in the UK. Premier League want fans to come back, but that's not happening. Players are testing positive, but I don't think they'll start the Premier League because they know that they must have signed a contract that if anyone testing positive has to be alone, the league has to go on because they can't afford delays now again and again.
True.
Now I want to talk to you about the shocking part of the Premier League, which is Everton. Everton have done brilliant, and
I
now
think
they have they're 4 games unbeaten, 12 points ahead of Liverpool, 3 points, and the next match is against Liverpool at Goodison. So if they win, they're 6 points ahead.
that's going to be crazy. I mean, I can't. That's going to be a really, really exciting match, and I'm glad that you put it out there. Everton recruiting well. I mean, 100%. I think with the way the season ended last season, you would say that Everton looked really sloppy. They looked bad, but I just saw that they didn't have too much to play for, and
Correct.
clearly Ancelotti had plans for this season. And right now, the way that they're playing, I feel they've really solid. They've got a really solid midfield now, and it's actually giving their defense that sort of much needed protection. I feel like, of course, everybody is going to be talking about Hammers, or Hammers, who's been phenomenal. There's no question about it. He is probably the best player Everton have ever signed in the last 10 years for sure. He's world class quality. You can see it with the
Yeah.
way he passes the ball and just his sort of vision, and he's basically running the show there. But you also got to give a lot of credit to guys like Allen and of course Depay, who also I think have played really well. And now that gives an even more license. That gives that sort of much needed license as well for players like Dinia and of course Coleman to now go and bomb forward from the wings. They would always do that, but then I think they would end up getting caught out. So now that's not happening. And of course, Calvert Lewin, I mean, he's their man, he's their main. sort of talisman right now, and he's doing fantastic as well. So
I think fantasy people will have bought already Calvert Lewin. I have bought Harry Kane already. I will use my wild card, so I already bought Harry Kane because I want him to be
okay,
in there because he's
wild card.
amazing. He's been,
Yeah,
huh?
he has. I said even I'm on a wild card. So yeah,
It's the best time, after transfers, who's there, who's not there, now.
absolutely
Um, Everton have recruited a defender from Norwich who is Ben Godfrey. And this man is what he's I think 21, 22, and he is the most defender there is, yeah, in the league. I'm surprised at how United have not gone for him because he's 20 million. That's it.
true.
A defender that we need. It's something that I really am shocked. Let's talk about other team, which is Arsenal. Before that, we will have to talk about someone who has made a comment. Shilpa saying it's a good discussion. Thank you, Shilpa, for tuning in to the Kunal call. I think you're a Shiv. You're here for Mr. Shiv Mehra. Yeah, he's a very famous person. Let's talk about Thomas Partey to Arsenal. What do you feel about that?
Oh, I mean, I wish we had the other guy here to go on and on about him because he's been telling me so much. He's been telling me that he's the new Fabinho, he's a better version of Fernandinho, and he's just a fantastic player and he fits into Arteta system so well. And you know how he is, right? So, I mean, he was just going on and on about him. He's like,
But
he's a really good defensive midfielder. But I mean, he does come in with that kind of reputation. So I personally haven't seen him play yet. I've just seen some of his stats, which seem pretty impressive.
yeah. You were saying about Arteta and Thomas Partey.
Yeah.
So do you think he'll bring a additional value to Arsenal?
See, for sure, because I feel like Arsenal have always they've lacked a really good defensive midfielder. They've always tried that
Correct.
position, but they haven't been able to nail on to anyone. Like for the longest time, I actually thought Torreira was going to be that guy who was actually going to play week in and week out, and I really liked that. He was like another Kante, but I feel with a better forward pass. That's how I would rate Torreira. But I don't know. It's just a position which never worked out for them. So I mean, I don't know. For all the Arsenal fans, I hope this one does. But it's Arsenal, so
No, I see a lot of improvement under Arteta. Arteta is a better manager than Ole. He's
yeah,
much better. I would say he has a plan. You can see that Arsenal are playing well.
yeah,
They're doing well. As much as we like to banter Arsenal because that's become the mood now for the last
yeah.
20, 30, for the last like 10 to 15 years. They've not achieved the success that they used to, under Wenger days till 2004. But you could see now that they are buying players, but they still need to be dominant on the ball. Like I don't see them like the match against Liverpool. Yeah, they should have won that match if they want to like go for the league or they want to like make a statement. Like how Aston Villa have defeated Liverpool. Now everyone knows how Liverpool is. It's high line. Put the ball behind their defense, you can attack them, and that's a big shock. 7-2. Liverpool have lost 5-2. City United 6-1. That's why this is the best league in the world, the absolute best.
True.
No, for me, Cavani coming to United is a big plus because Marshall can play from the wing. Rashford and Marshall can play from the wing. Cavani can play from the middle. And now Marshall is not there, but you have Greenwood. Greenwood can play. You need to have options. You need to give Ole the chance to get options. See how Partey came. They got rid of Torreira. They got Partey through because they paid the clause 45 million, which Atletico are not happy about it because they know that they lost a good player. And that's my take on this. What your questions? You were about to ask me some questions about some clubs.
I wanted to ask you about especially Juve. What do you think about them? There's been a lot of chat, and where do you think they're placed?
I think Juventus, personally, I think they are very well done because they got Arthur from Barcelona and they gave Pjanic to them. Um, I think it is the biggest set of fools who have given
Barcelona have given a 23-year-old to Juventus, and they've got 30-year-old from Juventus. It is crazy, you know, that Arsenal, that what do you say, they have done this. It's not easy for Juventus fans to accept the fact that you know they are so lucked out with the fact that they got Arthur from Barcelona, and Barcelona not even being this, what do you say, not even being what do you say, what's that word, they don't regret it. They don't regret the fact that they have let go one of the brightest prospects to Juventus. Juventus, for me, they got Andrea Pirlo, who seemed like a good manager. He's playing well. He's doing good, and it's really sad to see that this has happened. For Barcelona, but Juventus. Um, so Juventus have really, got that. What do you say? They got the luck of the draw. They have a player like Ronaldo, who's for me the best player in the world of all time. He's so good. But it's one thing to say that Juventus, they need to recruit. They were linked with Paul Pogba, but they didn't get him because let's face it, if he's going to United, if he's coming from United to Juventus, it's going to cost 30 million. And so not 30, sorry, 90 million. What I'm saying, 90 million. But they didn't have any money. I think coronavirus has really impacted the people, obviously, but mostly the clubs that are affected by this, because clubs are not able to spend money. Because there was so much of rumor that Juventus will buy Pogba. He will, go back to his childhood. Sorry, he will go back to his club. He will, play well for them and this and all that bullshit. But they didn't. And United need to sign Pogba for the new contract. They need to do it if they really want. If they really want Pogba to stay United, they need to sign United to a long-term deal. It was rumored that Juventus would go for him, but Juventus didn't because they didn't have any money. That's the thing with Juventus. You have any other question regarding any other clubs?
Sorry, firstly, apologies. I just had a very brief power cut. So, yeah, I mean, following up on, of course, Juventus, I think it's also fair that we do touch upon Real Madrid because they're also in a very interesting space.
Yeah.
They did win the La Liga last year, but no signings, and it's not. You do want to see them contending for the Champions League and stuff. So, where do you see them? What do you think their team is lacking?
Madrid are gone, bro. Like they have given Bale and they give Reguilon to Tottenham. I think Reguilon will come back to Madrid because Marcelo is 32 years of age. Reguilon is the new left back. So they've gone. They've told him to go to Tottenham and actually spend more time over there, play in the best league in the world, so that he develops. But they will get him back. But with regarding Bale, not even playing for Madrid is actually a shock because they don't. It shows me that they don't give a damn about him. He's the best Britain player to play in Madrid. He's won everything: Champions League, Copa del Rey, La Liga, everything. I think that was the golden time under Zidane. Him, Ronaldo, Benzema, the front three were brilliant. But no respect to him. Regarding the incomings, they can't spend money. Spain is completely screwed with the coronavirus thing. Otherwise, they would have gone for Pogba and Mbappe. Now, next year, they would go for these guys because they have the money. I don't think, for me, I don't even think they will go next year also. Because until fans come back, they
They're
can't
not
earn
going.
money.
Yeah,
That's what I think about Real Madrid. The reason they won the title last year because Barcelona bottled it completely.
totally.
Barcelona
Yeah.
were winning, but Madrid edged them out in the end. So that's what I think about Madrid.
That's how it is. I mean, in the La Liga, historically, we know that it is a two-horse race there. So
So, you have any other questions regarding any other clubs?
nothing much from my end.
Okay, I want to talk about Barcelona. Barcelona were rumored to get Depay because
Yeah.
Ronald Koeman is a Netherlands manager who was a national team Netherlands manager and used to play with these guys. So when he went to Barcelona after the fiasco with their former manager, he wanted Depay and Wijnaldum. He didn't get neither because they wanted to sell players. They let Suarez go to Atletico Madrid. What stupid shit is that? Suarez, man, he
I mean,
guarantees you goals.
yeah, it makes no sense. I feel Barcelona is also a club which is actually going through the most turmoil. I think there have been a lot of issues with their board. Even the whole Messi thing was such a fiasco. I mean,
That is,
Messi just stayed because he didn't want to go to court against them, and they suddenly pulled up some clause on him that no, you had to let us know 3 months before. It's like as if he's having like a job for a notice period or something, that he has to serve some notice period before leaving or some crap like that. So I don't know. Barcelona's uh, been in a really messed up state. But you know what? I think this is a trend that we see. Certain managers read certain clubs and like to go for their boys, the guys who they know who play well under them. So like we've seen this whole Ancelotti, James Rodriguez relationship blossom right now. So maybe Koeman had something like that in mind with of course Memphis, but I don't think Memphis is that worth it. I mean, I know he's been playing well, but I personally don't see him. I don't see him coping up with the pressures of being a Barcelona player.
yeah.
There you have to play well week in week out. It's not just like going and showing some flashy skills one match and then falling out the next. You got to be a really top class, consistent performer there. So not one for me, to be honest. I mean, I think that there are better players out there.
They are better players, but they have already players which are injury prone, like Dembele. I think he has not coped up with Barcelona's demands. I think he would be a good fit at United. Like personally, if at the last day when you were saying that you're not going to get Sancho, I'm like get with Dembele, bro, get him, because they won't. Obviously, there'll be more pressure on him to perform, but the training method will be different. It's better to have Dembele than having no Sancho, no Dembele at all. But we got Amad Traore from Atlanta. He's a future prospect, but you need to take time with him. He's 18 years old. But with United not going for Sancho or Dembele, it just shows that maybe they don't want to spend that much money this season. They don't want to, because they're like, okay, now
Do
I
you
think you want to do something.
do you think that that could also be the after effects of seeing a Pogba go wrong, not wanting to make really big? I mean, it's hard to say Pogba go wrong, but I mean, let's put it this way: Pogba, if he had to leave the team without a Bruno right now, then I would say yes, Pogba gone wrong. But because now he has Bruno to fall back on and to sort of cover up for all his mistakes, now it's a different ball game. But do you think when clubs see big money signings go haywire, then they're always a bit hesitant and they don't know how it's going to work out? I mean, do you think that plays an impact?
See, I'll tell you about Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, Bruno Fernandes cost you United 63 million with add-ons and everything, and he was bought for 47 million, 16 million, everything add-ons, everything completed within 6 months, scoring goals, assist, making appearances, and he's showing that he's the actually the fucking captain. He wants to win.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
wants to. It depends on the person. I have no problem with Pogba. No problem. This guy called Rance and Bance from he was in full time, not full time, the United Stand, and now he has started his own YouTube channel with Rance and Bance. He says, and this is reality. He says that Pogba is better than Kevin De Bruyne, but we don't rate Pogba because he's black. I'm like, are you mad? Pogba had the chance. Yeah, yes. The ending on the last season, you could see Pogba coming to his best. Why? Because he had Bruno Fernandes, he had Matic, he had Rashford, Greenwood, March all firing. He was happy. But but when a player is on an international duty and you're talking about big players, what I don't get is when United have spent money on him, he has to be loyal to the club. I don't care what people say about Paul Pogba. He's the best player in the world. I don't care. He has to be loyal. He's not even being loyal. He's saying, "Oh, I like to play for Madrid." That's wrong. That is completely wrong. The club is shit. It's dead. So much of negativity, so much of problems, and you're saying, "Oh, I like to play for Zidane. He's so great." I'm like, "Are you mad? You're a player of United. Stick to your club. Finish." So with you're telling about Pogba not being a instant not being a great impact compared to how Bruno Fernandes was. Bruno Fernandes 63 million, a quality player. He's come in and he's changed the club entirely. Van de Beek coming in for 40 million. That guy is going to be a player. He has to be started, but 40 million is a lot of money. The reason why for me, they should have gone for Sancho because he's 20 years old. 20 years.
He has his best is yet to come. He's already achieved a lot, and United would have the biggest opportunity to show Liverpool and Man City, you know what, we are fucking coming for you guys. We are coming for you. That's what the attitude should be. But they can't sell players. That's why they can't buy anyone. That's the problem.
I feel like also if you keep playing so badly, nobody is going to want to buy your players. This is
Exactly.
a big problem. Like, I mean, you always hear people talking about players like Zaha, for example. He always wants to move away from Palace, apparently rumored or whether it's true, whatever. But you always realize when the transfer window is there, Zaha's always flying. Whether he has a good season or not, come at the transfer window time, Zaha's always playing well. So I don't know. This is a real catch 22 because now if you look at our defenders, who would actually want to buy them? Like probably just some other. I could see players like uh, I don't know, Rojo, Bai. They'd be going to probably teams like Brighton maybe. I would see them going there. I don't see any other top quality you know, European team wanting to buy such players. So definitely.
Lindelof was criticized a lot when he was playing against Maguire, saying the Lindelof is shit. But last match exposed how Maguire is shit. Simple. I don't care what people say about Maguire, 80 million. Another guy who from which I'm a big fan of the United Stand. I really like that channel. But there's another guy called Saeed, and he also has left and he has made his own YouTube channel. He says that Harry Beckenbauer, where Harry Beckenbauer was fuck all. What's he doing? You can't defend. The third, no, not the fourth goal. The fourth goal, the left back is a centre back, and the centre back is a left back. What is going on? Basic stuff like you're saying Ole out and stuff. Ole won't come and tell them to be on the pitch and what position they have to be. He won't tell them. He's the manager, and the players have to be in the position. What are you doing? You can't do basic stuff. The reason we lost 6-1 is because after Martial, everyone gave up. Everyone, because see, you concede 2 goals, no problem. Even though they shit, Maguire should have been like, you know what, guy, let's settle down, let's form a defense line, let's go for the attack, let's win the game. They could have won the game also. If they kept it 2-1, if there was no red card, we could have won that game. We could have, but the defending was so shit. There was no leaders. And if Bruno went at Maguire, I'm so happy that he is my player. He should be the captain of United instead of Maguire. Finish.
100%. I mean, even if you look at United off the ball, have you seen the amount Bruno runs? He's not.
Exactly.
He doesn't have that Pogba kind of attitude that I'm not going to track back my runner. If Bruno gives the ball away, he makes it a point to go and chase that guy no matter where he is on the pitch. He will go running back. He's got that desire. He's got that determination, and I feel he single-handedly right now is just running the show at our club, and he's definitely been a world-class signing for us.
But now Pogba needs to be benched, man. I want Van der Beek to play. Simple. If Pogba is not fit enough, yesterday he played for France. I think against Ukraine or something. There was 7-1. People are like, play Pogba. Can we give 3 assists? You know how many players of Ukraine played before? Not many. Why? Because most of the team and the coaching staff were tested positive for coronavirus. Everyone, a 45-year-old goalkeeper came back and played. He retired like 5 years ago. So you're comparing to a team that's not competitive. Premier League is so competitive. You have to be on your toes all the time. And Pogba gave 2 mistakes. The fifth goal, where Aurier was there, he didn't even mark him. He's just there standing. And the sixth penalty. So what?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I feel like Pogba is just that kind of a guy that he's just got. He needs to be consistent to be a world class player. And for me, he's not a world class player simply because he's not consistent. And he needs players who play around him well and who make him better. 100%. He can't lead a team. You see the way he keeps doing tricks in his own half. I've seen a number of matches this season where he's given the ball away cheaply, and he's always asking for the ball, but he's always looking for the most complicated pass. And sometimes when that works out, we think that, oh wow, this guy's a magician. He's just pinging balls over the top, splitting defenses. But he needs to be mindful of where he's actually receiving the ball and how he needs to play. Sometimes you just have to play a simple pass. You can't afford to lose the ball between your D and the center line. I mean, you got to be smart over there. You just got to play a simple pass, play a side pass for once. But you'll always see him winning over, almost like winning free kicks by trying to look cool. But it's almost that he's getting caught out, but then he just uses his strength and sort of wins a free kick.
Yeah,
So
man, with Pogba, there are glimpses of his brilliance in some matches. He's so good. He is good. He's a good player. He's not consistent. That's the problem. Like with Bruno, look at him, man. Already 13 goals scored, man. That guy's a beast. 6 months. And midfielder. You know, no one, even you, when we signed Bruno, no one expected him to come and change the club. No one. But you know what? When you have players who want to play for the club, who want to give everything, who want United to succeed, they will come and do it. And that's why I feel that Pogba, he doesn't have that, what do you say, that drive, to win for United, not for himself, but for United. I don't feel like that sometimes. He's a brilliant passer of the ball. And with now, yeah, we lost 6-1 and we are all losing our minds and we got Cavani, Teles. But I have to also mention about one thing that Harshvardhan Kapoor, Anil Kapoor's son, he came on the United stand and he said that players seeing a lot of negativity on social media will affect them. Even the players, like Luke Shaw said that 2 weeks ago that we need to buy players. He's right. You're not wrong in saying that. You see, you're a United fan, yeah. You're seeing Liverpool buying players. You see Man City buying players. You see Arsenal buying players. You see Aston Villa spending more money than United. Aston Villa. And Everton, bro. Before the deadline day, Everton, Aston Villa, these clubs are spending more money. And we're like, what? What's going on? We only bought one player, Van der Beek, who's not even getting a start. Only needs to start him, honestly. Like, I have to be very honest. If Pogba is not playing well, bench him. I don't care. But you have to play Van der Beek. See, that's the thing with competition. If Luke Shaw's not playing, tell us. You have
yeah,
players. Even if this guy Ahmad Traore and there's one more player who's going to come, who has actually come to United, Uruguayan, Pelestri. Yeah,
yeah,
Pelestri. You can make him play. You can make him play. These guys are actually good players. Yesterday, I saw somewhere that the Pelestri's manager was asked if he's in the bubble or not because he's United want him straight to go to the first team, and he's included in the Champions League squad. So they have bought him to play. Even Ahmad Troyer, he would come in January, but I know that Ole wants him to start playing because he's the youth. He's the another option that we have. We have James also. James, Cavani, Rashford, Martial, Pelestri, Ahmad Troyer. 6 players, bro. 6 players. And we have Mata also, you know, as a winger. He can play as a winger. We have Lingard also. 8. We have 8 players, who can actually do something. The midfield, we have 6 players. Bruno, Pogba, Matic, Scott, Fred, and one more midfielder, maybe, I don't know, 6. So we have options. Yeah, Mata can play there, Lingard can play there. We have options. Now, Van de Beek, sorry, I forgot to mention Van de Beek. So 6 players. So with United getting the 6-1 loss, obviously we must have felt bad. We must have felt bad. It was a very crushing defeat. But I was happy that we lost. I think it's very important for the people to know that what the problem is, and it's the board. We can sit and talk all we want, but they won't sell the club. They won't.
right.
So, what do you think about United after the break gets over? Because we're facing Newcastle, PSG, Leipzig, Arsenal, Chelsea within 20 days. What do you think about that?
So even if you remember last season, we had this one really tough run of fixtures, which was said to be our sort of make or break time, and it was supposed to be always like, you got to win this now, or then you're going out. I think it was Spurs and City back to back in
Yeah.
within a space of 3-4 days, and we ended up winning both. So the eternal optimist that I am, I think that I mean, it's just the case of now or never. Like as in, they have to, the team needs to bounce back from the 6-1. They need to get their act together, and this is where I feel like sometimes for these kind of players who we think are bad, we do have some days where they're really good. So I think it's going to be a lot of man management, personally, if you ask me, more than tactics, more than just imagine like the same team who loses 6-1. I won't be surprised if we go and play Spurs again. We can beat them 3-0. The players are
Yeah.
not going to be so different. It's not going to be like a whole. It's not going to be 11 new players. It's just going to be 11 new players with a different mindset who have some good form on their side. So these things happen, and the road ahead doesn't look easy for sure. The fixtures look tough, but I think we can do it. And I personally feel Cavani is going to be a good presence. He's going to lead
Yeah.
the well on the field. He's that sort of stature. And I feel United always. I remember personally when even actually Ibrahimovic came in for that one season. Of course, Cavani is not that old, but it made a lot of difference to us. People know that yeah, he's the center guy. You have to find the striker in the box. So I'm looking forward to that. But defensively, now if you can't get rid of Maguire, you can't get rid of Pai. We have to nail down our centre back partnership, whether it's going to be Maguire, Lindelof. Personally, I just feel that is the most nailed on, and that's what's worked for us in the past. So I don't know if you see a better centre back partnership there, but I just feel everything else is too risky because Phil Jones must have now forgotten how to play football properly as well. I mean, I can't remember the last time he got a proper game.
He's chilling on the beach,
So
bro. Chilling on the beach.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So that's the thing. I mean, there's a lot of dead wood that we also need to get rid of.
But he
Lingard
has,
needs.
this now this is a big point. He has got it in a lot of players also. Like Pereira gone to Lazio, Dalot gone to AC Milan. We have Sanchez gone to Inter Milan. This guy Damian, he was still at the club. I forgot he's still at the club. He went to Inter Milan now. Four players, that's it, like that. And the previous year, he got rid of so many players. He's actually
I
doing a
honestly
next good.
feel I honestly feel like these guys were good. Damian seemed like he showed a lot of promise to me. Like I thought that
Hmm.
he was an exciting fullback. Dalo seemed good to me. So I don't know. I think like I mean, have we just sold the wrong guys? Like I mean, why do we still have, say for example, Phil Jones? Like why is
No
he
one
not?
will, bro. No one will buy him. That's the problem. No one will buy him. Everyone knows he's shit.
That's true. That's true.
We have four goalkeepers at United: David De Gea, Dean Anderson, Romero, and Lee Grant. No one wants to. No, I was like, why have we not gone for Romero? People, man, sell him, bro. He's world class keeper.
He's
You
good.
know,
Yeah.
Henderson will play. Henderson won't go anywhere. You know, and with Romero, it's not happening, man. It's not happening with him.
True.
But so, what do you think about United? How will they finish the season? Like being very honest and practical, and looking at the things right now, what do you think the best chance of United this season is?
I think the best finish will still realistically be a top four finish. I think we'll still happily take that. I mean, you look at the way Chelsea's building their squad, what they've done. Yes, the signings it's not paid off yet, but I don't think we've seen their full team back in action as well. Like we've not seen Ziyech yet. We've not seen Pulisic play there as well. So they still look like a strong outfit to me, and they will be good as the season goes on, as their team gels a bit more. City and Liverpool are, of course, class teams, and no matter how bad they start, I still don't see any team outdoing them.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Aditya? You're looking very happy because Thomas Partey has gone to Arsenal. So, what do you think about that?
I mean, would have wanted another signing, but he's the best you can get in that position currently. Um, I mean, the perfect sort of partner to Zaka and Ceballos right now. And for sure, on November 1st, I mean, like, you know what's going to happen. There's no way, your Wonder Boy Greenwood will be able to go through that defensive line, through that midfield anymore. So it's a great signing, guys. I hope you guys realize that you need to get someone like Arteta in your team, you know, to get the business done. But honestly, it's really amazing. I don't know if you guys heard about the news that Atletico Madrid is pretty upset with
Yeah,
Arsenal right now because of the whole signing fiasco. And I mean, we were, in fact, Edu, our director, he did say that about for 6 to 7 months, he had Partey on his target. And they were negotiating with Atletico, but they were not budging from the release clause. So, I mean, you have to get in and get it done. So, 30 minutes before the deadline, it was like another 2013 transfer summer repeated. Hopefully, Partey doesn't end up like Ozil towards the last few years of his contract. That's all. But great signing. What about you guys? What do you guys think about Partey? To be very honest.
We
No, I
spoke.
really. Sure, we can go ahead.
I mean, we spoke about him when you were not there, and we said that how you felt that he's going to be the next Fernandinho and Fabinho and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, from what I've read and what I've seen, uh, he seems to be a guy who's going to fit Arteta's system well. And I think you got to give a lot of credit here to the manager because now Arsenal have a method to their play. That's what I
Correct.
like about them. They are more pragmatic. You know that Arsenal now they aren't going to collapse defensively. They are not a they're no longer a emotional team. I always used to find Arsenal a very emotional and a mentally weak team. They would just give matches away when you know that you are in a winning position, but you still end up giving games away like that. So I think yeah, I mean they are playing well, and Partey looks to be a good signing for them. So I'm sure Aditya
Um,
will add more to that.
so Aditya, I don't want you to get rivalry in this. I want to really ask you a serious question about United. I know you have seen us losing 6-1, and obviously it was a very shocking thing. But with the signing that we have, like we got Cavani, we got Telles, we got Perisic, sorry, we got a right winger, and we got Troy Range coming in Jan. What do you think United should do regarding the defense? Because we all know okay, it was a disgraceful performance. What do you think the first 11 should be as a footballing guy? What do you think should be?
See, personally, I feel the biggest sort of flaw I personally see in Ole's formation is he follows at 4-2-3-1.
Yeah,
When he joined in, he really sort of thrived in the 4-3-3. And I feel like Pogba is best utilized in the left center mid position, where he has the freedom to go up and down and not playing as a holding the midfielder with Matic. So I think so. Once if that formation change comes in place, um, it is good. But the problem why he's not able to do that is because Matic is old now. So I feel like more than anything, if they had probably signed someone in place of Matic, uh, because Van de Beek is not a replacement for Matic.
no.
Like I would say, Matic is someone like your Fernandinho, your Partey's, your Fabinho's. You need that solid guy to drop back in the defense. He has no pace. He's old. So what's happening is I feel that the whole defense line is being exposed, and that's where Maguire, Luke Shaw, Van Bissaka, Phil Jones, Lindelof, all these guys are just being exposed. So more than defensive, I feel like the midfield needs to be sorted because if you see what Arteta has done, I mean, I'm not trying to like boast about him, is that he got Xhaka sorted, which is why we started conceding less goals. It's not like we've changed our centre backs. I mean, we have David Luiz, we have Mustafi, Holding, Chambers. These are the normal guys who are always there. We just got in Gabriel and Saliba right now, but I feel rather than the centre backs being solid, it has to be the CDM, that guy to hold the line up and drop back when needed. So that's one thing. And the other thing is Cavani, great signing, but I don't think he's someone who can play game in and game out. He's
Yeah,
no sort of substitute for Martial or a Rashford, to be very frank with you. I mean, playing against a team like Leeds United that can run 90 minutes up and down, left and right. I mean, Cavani is not going to be able. I mean, I was watching a game PSG versus some team in the French league. They were just walking, man. They're not running. They're just walking. Cavani's not going to be used to this. Thiago Silva's, I mean, having issues in the league because of him coming from PSG, and people don't look at that as a flaw. But coming from PSG isn't as big of a deal. That's what I feel. But Alex Telles, man, what a signing! Honestly, I mean, I was seeing his videos, the shots of that left foot. It's it's crazy.
he's
So
better than Luke
I
Shaw miles, man.
sorry.
He's better than Luke Shaw, like 100 times shooting
100,
wise. And
but I would still play Luke Shaw, maybe a three in the back, where like
yeah,
Luke Shaw is the left centre back, Maguire, Lindelof, Phil Jones, by whoever's fit, and Van Bissaka, because you need more defensive support now. You should get rid of Matic, to be very frank with you, and sort of play Bruno, Pogba, and a Van de Beek free roaming kind of a fixture. So your back three is there fixed. So that's what I feel about United. It's sad, man. Honestly, it's sad because this season it is really competitive, and again, it's like you'll have fans saying that, oh, this is another season where United weren't at the top performing. I mean, like, look at Everton, look at
Yeah.
Wolves, look at Leeds. The competition is at a different level right now, and United is not at par. You expect a top 16 to be there, so that's disappointing, to be frank with you.
How do you think about Liverpool losing 7-2 to Aston Villa? We just spoke about that. I want your opinion on it.
I think so. Just an off day, to be very frank with you. I mean, from an from an FPL perspective, I've seen a lot of people kick out your Robertsons and Trent, but no, man, it's Liverpool. You cannot sort of just think that okay, they lost one game, it's over. They honestly they aren't a United or an Arsenal. Their mentality is at a different level altogether. So for them to bounce back and win the next game 8-1, I wouldn't be shocked. To be very honest with you, they have the potential to do that, and I think so. You really could see the lack of Mane. You know, uh, Mane really did. I mean, a lot of people don't sort of see Mane as like a very pivotal player, but they sort of look at Salah as one of the best wingers that they have right now. But I do see Mane as a more influential player than Salah.
Correct.
Salah has a better finishing attribute for sure, but Mane is pivotal to that team. So let's see, man. They will come back for sure, 200%.
But do you think Everton might win the league with Ancelotti and the players they're playing right now? No,
I
I'm
mean,
being very serious. I'm being very honest right now. They're looking good. If they beat Liverpool next match, which is Liverpool Everton next match at Goodison, and if Everton win, 6 months clear, bro. That's the best team.
uh, it's too early, man. It's too early to say this. I mean,
We saw Leicester
you
win the
don't,
league. We saw Leicester win the league. We didn't expect that. It's about
but
consistency.
but I mean, uh, eventually, I mean, I don't see. Firstly, I feel like Everton, yes, they are good players, but again, it's just the first few games. What if they get an injury? What if James or what
Yeah.
if Calvert-Lewin gets injured? Then who do
Exactly.
they have? That's
No.
where I would say a Liverpool or a City are much more sort of settled in depth to sort of run them through the league. So, very honestly, no. I do
Hmm.
see a Liverpool or a City clinching it this year again, only because no other team is at par with their mentality. Forget the team. I'm saying the mentality that they have. No team is at par with that. Um, I do see
A bit
major
over
upsets
there, though.
happening this
I
year.
think it's a little bit over there, though, because honestly, now I feel City does not have that so-called mentality. Because what I've seen of City uh, in the past 10, 15 games is that if you apply pressure on them, City now are not able to nick matches 2-1. They're not that team anymore. They either beat
Correct.
you 4-0 or then they lose 4-0 or then they lose 3-1.
I mean,
So I think
Aguero's out, right? So,
I know
The main
that. I
player.
don't
The
think
main
that,
player.
but it does make a big difference. But I don't think it really. They're another team which are actually defensively very shaky. They often get caught out of possession and then they're struggling. So I personally don't see City having that so-called mentality now. In fact, like I won't be surprised. I don't see City finishing second, to be honest. I think City will finish third or fourth for me. I don't think they're a top two team.
With City, yeah, I've actually noticed Guardiola not being that passionate anymore, because he lost his mother in this year. Maybe he's just like, what, I'm doing my stuff, because he won the treble in the domestic league and no one give a shit about him because it's Man City, they spend so much of money. We are like, who cares? They spend 40 million, 50 million on players. But maybe he's just like, what, maybe the passion is gone. I'm like, he's like, okay, I'm done with this now. I'm done. Because you see City now, they're not the City of the before. Like in 17, 18, they were a dominant force because they had company. They had Yaya Toure. These
Exactly.
players
They
were.
don't have that kind of leadership now, I feel. They're such a City is almost like a Kevin De Bruyne team now. Just like how,
Yeah,
Manchester United is a very Bruno Fernandes team. These two guys run the show. And I feel where De Bruyne used to benefit was also having a partner and a leader like say somebody like David Silva, who you know that when he has the ball, he's not going to give it away. He's going to make all the right moves and the best moves possible given his limited stature, speed, physicality, whatever you want to say. So yeah, I mean, see, they are a great team. They'll go on and thrash teams 6-0, 7-0, but I see them losing more games now. So because of that, I see them dropping more points than even say some of like how you were just talking about Everton right now. Okay, of course, it's at a very early stage right now, and Everton tables could turn, but I don't know. I just see City dropping a lot of points. That's
Okay.
just my
My next question is to Aditya, and this might be controversial to you, but I want you to answer this in a very correct way, the football fan. Can Spurs clinch the title?
You
Honestly,
know, very honestly, no.
opinion.
Not because of any reason, but at the end of the day, they're Spurs. Like whatever said and done, mm, they they're not a fear like a team that you fear. You know, and if no team is scared of them, there's no way they can win it. I mean, the reason why Liverpool won is because everyone was scared of Liverpool. It was as simple as that. They played shit games last season, but why did they win? Like people were scared already before they reached there, and that's a problem Spurs will never be able to sort of sort
But
out. Is that
Bale coming in, that fear factor will be there.
again? I mean, that guy's sort of right now. I mean, in his injury phase, and he's gonna come back when he gets fit. Is he gonna play all 60 minutes, all 90 minutes, or just 60 minutes? What is? I mean, you never know how he clicks in, but it's going to be tough, man. I don't think so. Spurs can honestly take it
You
this
know what
season.
my take to your question is, to be honest, what I feel is the reason why I don't see Spurs winning is more to do with Jose because I've realized this with his teams that when he goes on a run, he again the team's playing fabulous, but it takes one loss to make it two, three, and four with him because he just gets into a bad mood. He becomes sulky. He'll start blaming the refs. He'll start blaming fixture congestion. Right now, he's not complaining. Right now, he's all happy. Yeah, fixtures come. Let's play. So I think personally for me, there's more of a Jose thing over there than a Spurs thing because there will be games, there will be times where when there is pressure, you will see him resort to those more defensive moves. And I don't know, personally, I feel I'm not sure on Spurs winning the season. They can have a good season, but they're not a title winning team for me still.
I
no, but
mean,
I think
honestly, if sorry, just one thing. This, if I do see anything, probably Spurs might just be lucky enough to win the Europa because Mourinho
yeah,
has the mentality to win a trophy. He's done it with a team like United when no one even knew how they came second and everyone hated Mourinho the entire season. They still won it. So he knows how to win trophies, but Spurs does not seem to be a team that can actually win it this season for sure. I mean, if anything, I would place my bets on Everton more than Spurs, to be very
okay.
frank with you.
Now you're
But
mentioning about the Europa League. I want to ask you, do you think Spurs can win the Europa League before Arsenal?
that so this is why I would again say no because what I've noticed about Arteta's sort of plan right now, it's very simple, is that he wants to win as many cups as he can, all these small cups. And even in his interviews, post-match interviews, I mean, they do question him as to, do you think you can win the league? And he says we're far away from the number one spot right now, and we need time, we need to build, but we're trying our best. So he himself is not giving that clear indication that he's going for the number one spot in the Premier League. And I do see him sort of win trophies. People sort of might say, yeah, you guys won the FA Cup, the Community Shield, this, that, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, it's still a silverware.
Correct.
So I do see him. Europa League, again, it depends on which Champions League teams come down to Europa League. That's one. The other thing is, if you're able to sustain the squad that we have and there's no injuries, no major injuries, yes, maybe. But let's see. Not sure, to be very frank with you. It's too early on right now.
For
Probably
me,
around.
for Spurs, yeah, I always see like people putting Jose down because of his like the persona that he has. But man, once that guy is an underdog, no, he comes up and he can cause a shock. He caused a shock against United. We never expected United to lose 6-1, bro. We're like, what you doing? And obviously, when Lamela elbowing Martial, that is a clear Jose tactic to get under the skin of the players. Spurs never do this before, bro. They were very nice. But with Jose, he has the mentality of like, you know what, go and irritate these assholes. And that worked because Martial got sent off and they just thrashed us 6-1. And Tottenham, they have recruited a good left back, a good midfielder, a good, obviously, Bale is amazing, but it will take time for him, and a good striker as a backup striker to Harry Kane. So who knows? It's this season for me is the most unpredictable season yet we have ever
I
had.
was just going to say, yeah.
I have a question for the both of you. What do you guys honestly think of Arsenal right now? Like, do you think they can A, win the season, B, maybe clinch top four, and C, win the Europa? Like, what are your views on that? I would like to know.
So we can go ahead.
Uh, Winning the season, no way. I think they are a long way away from that. But they're building a good team, no doubt. I mean, uh, Europa, of course, yes, I can see them winning it simply because now winning finals also becomes a habit, and now
Correct.
Arsenal have won silverware. So I can see them playing tactically, playing smart, clinching games, and this is a sort of different Arsenal team now. They don't play. They're not there to please you. They're there to win. They don't play. It's not those same Aaron Ramsey goals happening and those crazy one-touch passes and wow, Arsenal, this is a beautiful football team. Yeah, fine, okay, being a beautiful football team is good for the fans, but eventually, to win games, you need to grind it out and just get those 3 points. So I like the direction in which they are heading. For me, the only concern is that I feel they've got too many rotating paths yet. I still don't feel they're not a very nailed on team for me. I don't know what's the combination, who's going to start. Sometimes it's Saka, sometimes it's Willian, sometimes it's Lacazette, sometimes it's Nketiah. So I don't know whether he does that on purpose or whether he knows that yes, these are my these are my first choice, these are my second choice. And from what I see right now, there is no clear pattern because sometimes you'll see somebody like Nketiah, I think he started in a
Starting
final,
over Lacazette, yeah.
right? I think it was the FA Cup final only, right? Or was it some other? It was a big game I remember in which he started over Laka and people were really surprised. So that's my only concern there. I don't know if it's a rotation thing or if it's just unsurety. But otherwise, they're a good team. They've got, I mean, if you can have a defender like David Luiz and still keep clean sheets, you must be doing something right. So,
For sure. I think with Arsenal, they have the best manager right now. The new generation managers. He's one of the best right now, Mikel Arteta. Trained under Guardiola. He knows what he's doing. He has, problem with him, yeah. He needs to have a good squad, and this squad can win the league before United. If he has good players, United have better players than Arsenal in terms of attacking, and the kind of the foundation of United, the players that they have are better than Arsenal, but Arsenal have a better manager than United. That's a fact. I mean, I love Ole. I think he's going to lead United to a title if he doesn't get sacked. That depends on next month. That's a big month. But with Arteta, he has Laka, he has Aubameyang, he got Saka, he got Partey. Now he has, Ozil is not there. He says, I don't know why not selling Ozil. I don't understand this. They save so much of money.
No one knows, man. No one knows. And you ask me how many ever times you want, I still have no answer. Like, there's no indication from the team, from the board, from the manager about Ozil, nothing. I mean, I've been hearing rumors that now they want to sort of get in talks with him again to sort of end his contract in January or try to sell him off right now. Um, no idea, man, honestly. But I do agree with you that Arteta is the best sort of new generation managers that are there right now. Uh, and personally, I have been feeling Ole out. Like I was never part of the whole Ole out sort of bandwagon initially, but uh, it really takes a lot to do 6-1 to Spurs. A and B. I mean, people can say, "Yeah, we got a red card," but uh, you're United, man. You're not a Fulham or a West Brom that yeah, will get a red card and are just gone. So. I hope United bounce back, man. Honestly, for just for the rivalry's sake, nothing else. Like just the banter, just the fun. Because very honestly, it's like you can laugh at them as much as you want, but what's the point? I mean, you have such a great heritage, such a great club. You do have, I would say, the best, the top players in the league right now,
Yeah.
better than Arsenal, better than Spurs, better than some players are even better than City. Yet you guys are struggling. So now, if you tell me it's like there, it's a certain player we lack in this area, we lack in that area. I think so. It's time now. Either you sort of get a new manager, but
Hmm.
but again, I just feel like you need to give him some time. But then
I would
again, I mean,
honestly
I
think personally, sorry to cut you short. I don't think it is so much of a manager thing now because I mean, how many managers are we going to change to sort of come to a conclusion? I don't think it's so much got to do with managers. It's just got to do with the players who are there. Do they really want to play? Do they really want to be there? Do they know what it's like to play in a Manchester United t-shirt? Do we have any kind of leaders? You need a few players who you can build a squad around. And I just feel like sometimes when you look at some of their players play, it's like they're just there. I mean, they just have to play well because they know that they're being watched and there will be a lot of scrutiny. I don't think they really want to play. So I think it all comes down to recruitment for me. And along as Kunal, as you rightly said, not just to do with skill, also to do with who's the guy that you're buying. Like, as in, where is he at that point of time? Where is he in his career? What does he want to do? So, if you look at somebody like a Dele Alli, for example, when he gets his head straight, he is unplayable on his day. If he decides today that yes, I want to make a comeback into the England team, and if he really puts his mind to it, I feel he can outscore people like Son and Kane also. That is the guy's potential. But then he is Deli Ali. Then he just wanders off. He'll score a worldie and then he goes off. So I think for me personally, I'm totally against Ole out, to be honest. I know that there may be a better manager out there, and I'm not going to deny that. Ole's tactics sometimes seem very, it's quite easy to figure out what he's doing. You don't need to be a football genius to understand what he's doing. It's either sometimes a little bit defensive, or then it's pretty much all out attack. It's not very layered. It's not really complicated. It's kind of like taking it out from the books of Sir, I mean, Ferguson. But yeah, I think he needs time, but the players at the club need to buck up. There's no you can't blame 6-1 on the manager. Alex Ferguson also lost 6-1 to City, and at that
No,
time
but
it was a lot better
no, but
than.
with Alex Ferguson losing 6-1, man, he already achieved everything, bro. He achieved everything. One day he's like, you know what? One day happened. You know what? Fuck it. We're going to next match. We're going to be better. It's fine.
Obviously,
With
obviously, I'm not trying to compare their records.
hmm.
Obviously, I'm just saying that 6-1 is not a barrier. 6-1 is not a reason to sack a manager for me. It needs to be
No,
more than that. You need to see.
see, the reason we lost 6-1 is because of the defense. People are not playing in their position. They're going out. Luke Shaw, like Tellers has come in. The reason I want Tellers to come is to give competition to Luke Shaw. You know why? Because then he'll be like, oh man, someone is out there, he can take my place. That is the thing with competition. You're saying about like Cavani, for example. Cavani will be on the bench, but against Leeds, if it's nil-nil and 10 minutes to go, you bring on Cavani, Tellers gives the cross to Cavani, Cavani scores, you win the match. It can happen.
Yeah.
You need to have options on the bench, and you need to have players who play for the badge, not for the money.
Plus,
And that's the
also,
thing with
you know what? Plus, guys, I feel another very important thing, which actually right now we don't know, and what you get to see through all these kind of documentaries is that what is the relationship, what is the dynamic between the chief or the football CEO of the club and the manager. That is really important. From the Spurs documentary, you know for a fact Daniel Levy and Jose Mourinho get on.
yeah.
Daniel Levy is going to support Jose when he tells him that yes, I want Bale, yes, I want this player. They have gone and recruited well. We don't know behind the scenes what's happening between Solskjaer and I mean. and I mean, Woodward. Like, what is their relationship like? How involved is Ed Woodward actually? I mean, he seems like a conspiracy to me himself. He's always like, I mean, you never hear anything from him. Have you ever heard him say anything? Like, I don't know. I don't
But
know what the I have
I
no idea.
agree. I agree with you. Sorry, just to cut you short. I agree with you. But to sign Partey, Kroenke actually opened up his purse this time. A
Correct.
guy, a guy where I mean, this is the kind of guy where a person like Wenger couldn't break through. You got someone like Arteta break through him.
No,
So
but Aditya, your point of view is that Partey has been signed, but it's been many years since they spent serious money also. You
no,
know,
no, I agree. I agree. I'm not saying that I'm all about Kroenke in and he's the best owner, blah blah. No, but the thing is that unless and until the manager is demanding, and it should not just be demanding that you know what, give me Sancho, and they say no, and you just like sit quiet. No, I mean,
hmm.
you look okay. You look at Pep. Why does Pep look up to a manager like Bielsa? Because he will only do what you want him to do if you give him what he wants. He has that aura, he has that persona, he has that personality that I can't do it unless I have ABC. Pep's like, I can't do it unless I have ABC. Even Ancelotti, I mean, 11.5 million for an Everton manager, and you can see that coming in now. So yes, I agree the board isn't that great right now, but you do need someone at the driving seat, someone commanding these decisions. Like you need to fight the board. That's about it. I mean, I also see one point which you make, Shiv, is like, I mean, you've had people like Van Hal also come in. He's a big name in football, yet you could not do. But he did get in quite a few good players. It's just that it was unfortunate that season that United didn't click. I mean, you had Depay right now, a player that Barcelona is running behind. And, you know, you had Di Maria also. You had all these great players. I mean,
Arsenal came under Louis van Gaal.
so
True, true.
I feel like yes, it is sort of like a conspiracy theory where you don't know what's exactly happening, but you do need the manager at the end of the day because he's a guy who is the face of the club regardless of whatever said and done. And if he's not strong enough, then what's the point of having him over there? Is what I feel.
Okay, this is the last point I'm going to make, and we're going to end this podcast. With United, I will just say one thing. We had four managers. This is the fourth one. And if you sack him also, the club will be destroyed. Completely destroyed. Even if you get Pochettino in, bro, you get Guardiola in now. He can't recover because the board or the manager. You're right. You're right with the fact that Ole needs to take responsibility and he needs to come up with something. But the players also have to take responsibility. The board have to take responsibility. You know, as a fan, I want if Ole makes a mistake, I'll accept it because he made a mistake. It's fine. But when the players not even giving everything they have, that pisses me off.
But
You
why do
know,
you think so? Like
because
who's supposed to lead the players? Who's supposed to develop these players' mentality? It's a manager. It's not the board.
no, it is the manager, 100%. But you tell me before Bruno Fernandes came in, was one example where before he came in, United were nowhere, bro. Nowhere. In the top four, they were like 15 points behind of Leicester. And when Bruno came, the mentality changed. Why? Because he wants to win. He wants to go forward. He wants to get that goal. People mock him with the penalty, bro. Whenever you give a penalty, he scores. That's elite mentality. When a chance
But
comes, it's Brighton, the 100th minute, he scores.
I mean, see, that way all of these players are professionally and technically sound when it comes to the game of football. Why do you need a manager? I mean, you can just have the captain of the team be like, you know what, let's play four in the back, four in front, two in front. Why do you need a manager? Other than the tactics, is to sort of get these guys together, get their mentality get them in a good headspace, a winning mentality. If you watch the Spurs documentary, there's one thing that Mourinho keeps saying is that if the mentality is messed up, that's it. It's game over. There's
Correct.
nothing else that you need a manager to do. I mean, I feel the most important thing a manager has to do is sort of get the players' mentality right. And you say the players are not in the right mentality, you can blame the players, but at the end of the day, it's also the manager's fault. So
It is.
if
It is.
not, then sell them.
No, but who will buy? You will buy Phil Jones? You will buy Rojo? You will buy Romero? No. No one will buy these players, bro.
I mean, what do you do then? I mean, that's
Exactly.
that
You
that.
can't do
I mean,
anything. They get 5 million per year as salary. 5 million. Look at the money being spent on these assholes. And you know what? United need to just like finish their contract because that's all they can do now. No one wants to buy these guys. But Ole has also done a good thing. He has gone rid of a lot of shit players also. But to see, look at the squad now. Okay, leave Maguire aside. Leave Maguire aside. Yeah, I'm going to say the front three: Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, one of the best prolific of strikers. Young, all 23, bro. 24 Martial, 22 Rashford, Greenwood 18, 19, and now you got Cavani. So there's a big upgrade to 2 years ago. The midfield you said is the best midfield I think in the Premier League. Matic, Bruno, Pogba, Van de Beek, four players. You know, it's the system that he needs to change. Telles, one of the best left backs in Europe. Coming in now, he's going to come in and he needs to play left wing back. I think to your point, to be more effective. Bissaka, one of the best defenders in the Premier League. Maguire, a good defender who had a very bad day against Spurs. I think the players need to obviously listen to the manager because the manager is very important. I think he needs to play a diamond formation, the middle of the park where he gets Van der Beek, Pogba, Bruno, and Matic, so that there's more people in the midfield area, so they are more equipped to deal with the bullshit that comes from the front. And you got Cavani, Rashford, Martial, the three options for two people. You got James, a fantastic young, for me, he's a fantastic prospect. Leeds wanted him for 25 million. We didn't sell him because I honestly feel that against PSG, against when playing the Champions League, bro, you need option on the bench. You bring on Lingard and Mata against PSG. That's the problem. Like there is a clear out, there is people coming in, but yeah, 6-1 losing to Spurs was a dark day. But it all depends on Newcastle because one good result and you are again on the confidence. You're not going up, but you get that positive vibe.
I
There's
think
been nothing but negative.
for me, it's just that same point that I actually made before, that I wouldn't be surprised if we go back to Spurs and beat them 3-0. But it's not like we'll actually have 11 different players there. It's just these guys who need to pick themselves up, and I mean they need to play as a team. They need to have better. They they need to be defensively more sound. That obviously just goes without saying. And they can't be making stupid mistakes. United have been giving away such cheap goals. It's like the defenders look so out of place that it's like they've just forgotten all of a sudden how to play. Where should I be? There have been some really basic errors as well. So I think it's just a matter of time till these guys come good, and then it'll be fine.
Yeah,
When the
you
goal is good, we're always praising them, but of course after 6-1, they are going to get a lot of flack.
Yeah, but it happens with football. We can't accept, but you're fans. We love the club. So thank you again, Shiv and Aditya. It's been brilliant having you guys here. I think we'll make a podcast after the Arsenal United match. Let's see who wins. All the best
for
to both
sure.
of you.
For
Yeah.
sure.
But thank you so
All
much,
right.
guys. Take care and God bless. See you.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, man.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.